why did you make this life change? Were you fed up where you were?
Yeah, it's actually been a longer journey than you think. Even though the kind of key turning point for me was 2014 when I left my corporate job, and that, I guess that's the milestone that people often refer to.
Yep.
The story actually starts a long time before that, when I left. A turning point in my life when I left the church, when I left my Christian faith. And that started me off at the same time as starting to find my career, or finding the job I loved.
Yes.
And started on that track to lead me to the point where I actually kind of left the corporate world and found my own path. So a couple of suitcases to Italy, beautiful country of Italy, which is where I've always wanted to live. But really I desired to create a different kind of life. I didn't want to be doing a 9 to 5. I didn't want to be doing the same as everyone else, really, or what we're expected. So yeah, I absolutely made that decision.
So it was quite a learning curve, and obviously when you were in the corporate world, you must have felt this is not for me, but not knowing where me wants to go and what me wants to do. You made an ultimate decision, just almost like packed your bags up and said, I'm off. And then decided what your pathway is going to be. Did you always know that you were going to be like a life coach and a teacher like that?
Part of me knew, yeah, I think. So definitely by the time I left, I was really interested in coaching. I'd done some coaching as well. But it's interesting you talk about it. When I was in the corporate world, even when I was in that job, it was a great job. The one I left, it was a great company, and it was really a combination of the path I'd been on the few years before. Searching for the sort of dream career. I actually got done well. I got closer to something that I was really enjoying. It was fulfilling in some ways, and yet there was still part of me that was like, this isn't using all of me. This isn't using me to my best potential. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is what you're trying to, I guess, trying to let other people realise that they can change their life. And with your coaching, you're going, no, you don't have to stay there. That you do have to take chances. You do have to plan it, not just jump on a plane like I thought. But it's a lot of planning that goes on, because at the end of the day, you still have to live by that. And we don't live by bread alone, as they say. So you have to earn your keep to do what you're doing, and also do every aspect of the job, not just be like in the corporate world, that's the section of the job that you've got. You have to do everything. You have to do your marketing, research, find your clients, keep your clients, all those sort of things. So you become multitasking in a field that is really quite open to a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that if the desire is there for somebody, certainly it's possible. I think that's our key. Sometimes we think, we need the skills, but actually you can learn skills.
Yeah.
I've learned marketing, and I've learned sales, and I've learned, even financial bits and pieces that I thought I probably could manage before, but I've actually picked up along the way, and approaches and language and jargon and things like that. You can pick that up, but actually the kind of, I would say, is if the desire is there, that's the key point. We need to want it. It seems some people think, I want it, that's fine, but I couldn't possibly do it. Well, actually, that's not the attitude and the approach, and that we need to desire it, and that we're willing to, as you say, take a chance, or step out of a comfort zone. It's a bit of a cliche now to say that, but it is just taking a big deep breath and going, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to choose to do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yes, and learning all those things is an ongoing process. As I'm sure. There's always something new popping up that you like, particularly in marketing. Like, shall I use this channel, or shall I take this approach? Software as a service, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, it's an adventure, and it's one I'm relishing. It's really fun. It has been really hard, but it can be just amazing, and unlike anything else. It's Monday. You get up and you do essentially what you want to do. So,
yes.
really good.
So, with the job that you're doing, are you helping people to go into business or just to change their life? Are you dealing more with corporate type people, or people want to start their own? Because basically you're enthusiastic because you're running your own business and doing exactly what you want to do, but in the same time you're inspiring others to make that step. So obviously there's a financial aspect to anything that we do, whether it's big or small. And it could be people jumping trades, as you say, they can learn those trades and pick parts up of it as they go. So are you more designed for people that are in business, or people doing lifestyle changes and they still have to earn their keep? Or is it a mixture between both?
A mixture, yeah. I've worked with both types of people. At different stages of their journey, you know, they come to me maybe for one thing as well, and then we actually work on something different, because ultimately if there's an obstacle, there may be something underneath what seems to be the problem on the surface.
Yes.
So absolutely, I work with both, definitely the coaching side. I'm also a freelance writer, so I help companies position themselves as well for growth, basically, and that brings in so much of the coaching as well. You know, where are you looking to be? How can you best present this? What's the opportunity here? So all things that overlap. But certainly with the coaching, it might be very much at the beginning. I want to, you know, getting unstuck from those. Oh, I couldn't possibly do that. It's just a dream. Or it's I'm in business and, you know, I've started my business, but I don't know, I'm getting stuck and I'm frustrated and I'm overwhelmed, like what's the next step? So I believe coaching is really a tool and a partnership to help us see the way forward. And because we already know what we want and we know where to go, we just sometimes can't see it for ourselves. We need someone to see it. So I mean, I really love that moment, that breakthrough, and that someone's, oh yeah, that's it. It's just, yeah, it's magical. So
you love the challenge of that because you know you're coaching, but doesn't sometimes that coaching turn into counselling? Isn't that sometimes you're helping people understand where they are, maybe not in the situation that's to do with the business that's holding them back? Is there an element of counselling that comes out of that sometimes?
There's an overlap, certainly. You know, I won't speak for my clients, but I've certainly been on calls when I've been coached, when I've been sobbing, you know, tears are flowing because I, you know, either realise I haven't been ready to release something, it's kind of come up in our coaching conversation, or, you know, I've hit a frustration and I need to just talk about something that's happened to me in the past. So absolutely, but there is a difference. Coaching generally focuses on the present, or more goal-oriented usually, and we're looking towards the future, whereas counselling tends to be kind of looking back. However, you know, ultimately a coach is holding space for someone. They're providing a listening ear, and sometimes in that space, that, you know, it's the same role of a counsellor, really.
Yeah. The reason I'm saying that, and I'm probably going to see that, although we're talking the business side, I can't tell you what your thoughts are, but your business side is obviously you got the acumen to move forward. But clearly, you know, there's a very deep spiritual side to you that you don't put the banner out for people to see unless that happens to be off screen or offline or something like that. But clearly I'm getting distracted by it, so there's a very strong...
No, absolutely right, Adrian. In the last, well, certainly few months, 6 months really, that has come more into my coaching. So now it is an element of it, if that's what people want, certainly. Because my own kind of spiritual journey has been impacting what I've been doing, and certainly in the last, at the moment I'm launching a course called The Laws of the Universe, which kind of brings in the work I do with clients about law of attraction, and other spiritual laws. So, and certainly that's how, you know, that underpins how I live my life right now, what I've learned, which is obviously what I want to share. But certainly, when I first at the beginning to part of my journey being kind of leaving my Christian faith and really stepping out into the unknown, that part of the journey that we go on, where that really started, all those years ago, sort of about 10 years ago now.
Right.
And it was a very challenging time for me. It was a moment where I hadn't really expected it. Something had happened, and I felt like it was a big turning point for me, and it was that decision I made after months. It wasn't a sudden thing. And yeah, so it absolutely is brought into the work I do, and really, I suppose the direction I'm incorporating.
Yes,
So,
and
absolutely.
yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you, but I'm just so enthusiastic about it because you're almost bringing a holistic side into it.
Yes.
It's almost a touch of what Tony Robbins will do. He talks to the psychology, the physiology, and all the bits and pieces. But there's a great spiritual depth to what he does, and many of the other teachers as well that are out there on the internet. And it almost feels that you've taken this journey of change.
They might not quite agree, so, but I see the similarity, and I see that definitely as being a really positive aspect to my kind of the spiritual path now. I really feel it's a benefit because it means I can relate to those people and sort of have an understanding of it while still connecting with a different path. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned Eckhart Tolle, did you?
So no, I didn't, but yes, he is definitely.
Sorry, I, because the line's quite bad, I'm losing it the odd little bit, but I agree with that because it's almost that you start with that religion and that's the basis and foundation of whatever you do. And as you sort of blossom, you take in other elements of holistic thinking, practices and all those sort of things, and you only keep what you need to keep, which is right for you in your pathway.
Absolutely, yeah.
And when you said, well, I went on these years where I was lost, and I think that was part of your discovery. You weren't lost, but you had to do that to get where you are now.
Just how it felt.
Yes, I suppose so, because you don't always see a direction, but now you've got your direction, you know where you're going. Now, obviously the first time that you and I connected was over a webinar, and I was so fascinated by your enthusiasm with everything you did, and obviously we kept in sort of in contact as you move forward. And is webinars part of your program as you go forward?
Yeah, so the course that I'm launching at the moment, the Laws of the Universe, it's like a tele-seminar, so it's not video, but really I constructed it in the way I have, or designed it in the way I have, which makes it easy for people to connect. So it's not interactive; they can just listen, they can ask questions via the chat box if they want. All the ideas.
Yeah.
Really for a sort of modern spirituality with an intellectual angle or an intellectual approach with it as well, and experiential. Of course, I share I'll share my stories and anecdotes and bits and pieces from my journey, but really a way for I really feel that Britain certainly has there's this sort of unspoken desire for many young people and older people, of course, to connect with themselves again, connect with
Robbins, when he's got his large audiences, they switch back, they don't get involved. He gets them all up and revved, and then they all sort of fade back into the distance and pull down, and it's quite an emotional trip, isn't it? Or psychologically, it's stepping outside your comfort zone in some ways to actually release yourself and not feel that you're being judged by the person sitting behind you or next to you going, ooh, look at him.
Yeah,
it's very hard to get that interaction, isn't it?
In reality, most of the time as well, people are always really relieved when someone else speaks up, like, oh, they're so brave for asking a question. So it's totally in the mind, as we know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going over the next sort of 5 years? What are your, where do you, I mean, you're going to grow your business to...
Ooh, 5 years, that's a good question.
Yeah, because a 5-year plan, like you plan to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I actually, it's interestingly, I've got an overall vision, which is the same that I had literally when I started designing my life back in 2013-14, before I left for Italy. That vision was very clear then, it was very strong, and I really have a desire to help British people connect with themselves, and whether that's to start a business, whether that's just aligning themselves in their relationships, whether it's starting a community project, whatever it was in them, and a real deep desire, that's really my vision, to help them start, see it through, begin, end, start the next one, whatever it looks like for them. So wherever they are on their journey, and really that's my heart. And I work with Americans, I work with all sorts of types of people, but really my heart is with Britain as a country, to realise that, and to see the benefits of that as well, so we live more happily, more sustainably. And whether that's, I speak, I write, okay, that's my kind of standard answer to that question. How am I going, how do I do that? How does my business grow? That's my vision, that's how I see it. But through growing my business, through, I guess, speaking on as many different platforms as I can, and being open to the path that I find myself on as well, sort of not forcing it through too rigidly, being open to what comes up as well. So yeah, that's how where I see myself in 5 years. Absolutely, that's in terms of business. Lifestyle, I work for myself. That was a big goal for me, to get to as a milestone. So absolutely more seaside walks probably, and maybe a bit more travelling, not just Italy. That's obviously the best. The number one destination at the moment, but also around the world. So absolutely, lots of things in the planning. But 5 years, I didn't usually answer that question. I usually work in quarters actually at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, you look after a lot of people, so you do have to keep your eye on the ball that's in front of you. But for you as a person, in your portfolio that you put out, you do your webinars. You've got your spiritually minded, holistic sort of program that's coming up for you soon, and it feels like you are opening that up, and it's really saying, I mean, as an internet or entrepreneur, you can work anywhere. So is Italy going to be your base, or are you going to think, no, I want to go somewhere else? I don't mind where I'm going now.
It's a really funny question, because people always, people I've been in contact with, particularly old work colleagues, or people I haven't necessarily, I used to see a lot and then haven't seen so much recently, always like, oh, is Italy still in the plan? Is Italy still in the plan? It absolutely is. It was always a long-term, investment and time, money, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I lived there for 2014, 15, bit into 16 as well. And it's absolutely my second home. Really.
All right.
But in the 18 months, 2 years, I'm in England. That's where I am for now. I put down a couple of roots here for now. So yes, it's a long-term plan. It's always a place I go to. It's a place where I draw inspiration. Absolutely. But ultimately, yes, I can move anywhere. I do like to have a base, it has to be said.
Yes.
I'm not nomadic in the back.
No.
But yes, absolutely, I can. And I've got some lovely friends and colleagues in America, and that's kind of on the destination plan soon as well. So yeah, stateside it feels like the next place.
Wow.
One of the next.
But that's the essence of the job, the good part of your job. You just need an internet connection, and obviously everything you've got up here, everything you've got on your laptop, and you can run it from any place in the world that's got electricity and an internet connection, really, can't you?
Yeah.
And then you've got the luxury of being to a place that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. I love the opportunities the internet has brought up. I think even more so, and I'm not trying to be sexist here, but more so for women who maybe have like family responsibilities and are not in that position, but I know women who are.
Yes.
And it just allows them to kind of make that working from home situation just a lot easier, and allows them to travel if they want to, if that's a real desire of their heart. So, but yes, of course, men as well. And yeah, anyone who is into the online business, online sales and marketing bits and pieces is fascinating development in our world, and I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think now going in the future, you said obviously you're progressing with what you're doing. Do you ever see yourself going on television?
Ooh, I wouldn't say no. I hadn't specifically thought of that. I love live speaking, so in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
People being there to talk to and see their faces. But it's not something I necessarily...
but you wouldn't say no if it was a part-time basis.
Adrian, you've given me a little food for thought there.
Well, I mean, it's really strange. I'm meant to be listening to you, but I'm seeing and sensing things with you, almost that you could do that on a part-time basis or consultancy type basis, that you could go and do that. And the other thing that was quite clear to my mind was that if you haven't written a book, you should be writing a book.
There is one in the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you a time frame because...
No, it's all right.
Time frame. But yes, no, there is, definitely. Yes, I'm very excited about it as well.
Yeah.
It's coming along, but...
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't pushing it. I just could feel that from you. And
You're the first to know.
That's okay, yeah. I'll buy your first copy, but I could just feel that with you. Although you've got a great business plan as you go forward, I feel that holistic side of you is trying to come out of the box and just do a little bit more and come out and be part of it. Although you've got to still have your business plan in front of you, I can almost feel there's another side of you, the butterfly side of you, that just wants to embrace everything.
I'm always very grateful for that kind of insight, so feel free to send any more of those my way.
Well, I may do. Well, I hope you inspire many more clients with your energy and your love and your laughter that you have here, because that's helped me understand that people can do it, but they've got to be determined and they've got to take those chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that those people who've been in a kind of stuck situation for a long time, they forget how to use that creativity that's in all of us, and that doesn't mean necessarily painting pictures. It's problem solving and with silly ideas that actually might work. So absolutely. Yeah.
So really, when we look at you're causing life-changing situations for people if they take the baton and run with it. You've sort of proved it by the way and the things that you've done, and it's the creative element that's allowed you to go forward, even if you've taken a few diversions on the way to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And both, I'd say, creativity and support, investing in myself, in time, in money, in just experiments. And really, it's just a practice. The creativity certainly is something that, if somebody's stuck in their job and, they're watching this and they're thinking, well, I could never do that. Actually just get practicing with your creative muscle. Find 10 options for the thing that you do every day and you want to change.
Yeah.
Or 3 different ways to walk to work or something like this. And actually it just opens up that part of your brain and that part inside of you that can really, create fuel like novelty and innovation and originality and really bring out who you are as well. So yeah, I would always say to people, there's, if they feel really stuck, there's always 10 different ways out of a problem. So. Yeah.
So it's a bit like saying letting go to go.
Yes, exactly. I love it.
Good. Claire, thank you so much for your time today. Please keep me updated on how you're progressing in bits and pieces.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Adrian. It's been such a delight to talk to you.
It's been good for me because I've seen all those aspects that really make a difference to a person's life, and you've demonstrated that. So thank you for your time today. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Now that's not how I thought it would go. It was really strange. But it was good.
Brilliant. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. Because I was seeing her aura and I wasn't expecting to see that.
Yeah. Was it the white blob?
Yeah.
I was seeing that as well.
Yeah, I could kick you.
It's on the camera.